Cousins and siblings, friends and colleagues of Siddarth and Keerthana. Also. And just engaged Siddarth and Keerthana. Invitees of the Karur family and the Nandapula family. Good afternoon. My name is Rahul Karur. I have been vested with the pleasant task of introducing the 6 feet tall, mature, and the ever-smiling Siddarth Karur. I would like to thank all of you who have made to this place on this beautiful Sunday morning. I would like to thank for the good weather that's been this morning. I hope everybody is happy, comfortable, dry, because we're going to have a good time right now. Yeah, we're going to have a good time. Just a couple of announcements before we begin. The lunch was to start at 1, but I would request you all to stay here because this is going to be pretty interesting than the lunch. So starting off, I want to turn your attention to the center stage that side as well as the presentation here. So I'd like to start off with Karur family. As they say, family is a family. It's an integral part of our life, and we are recognized by our family name. So before we move on, I thought we should give a brief history about our family. Our family has a big legacy, and I thought we should share about it. Here's the first Karur Hulda of the 4th generation. For all, he fell for the very smart and intelligent girl, Keerthana. So I would like to take you back in time right now and give you a history of our family. Our great-grandparents hailed from Karur, a city in Tamil Nadu which is very well known for textiles and paper industry, apart from one of the oldest private scheduled banks. And for those of us in the crowd wondering if you're the owners of the Karur Vaishya Bank, yes, you're only your shareholders. Our great-grandfather was a very well-known popular figure in the community and society at large. He did a lot of social work, he was a visionary, and he was the earliest entrepreneur who set up the first private printing press in the year 1862. Apart from which, he also had a photo studio, delivered the printers for the Mysore Maharaja, and we also used to supply machinery for the printing. So one of our most important incident for the printing press is Sri Sathya Sai Baba visited our printing press, and then we gave the first printing press for the Putparthi printing establishment. And that's how we get our famous name, the Karur, the Vicharadarpana Press family. So it gives me great pride in sharing with all of you today that the books published with the VDP are available in one of the most coveted universities abroad, the Carnegie Mellon University in the US, and it's also available on the Google Books in just a click away. It's pretty noteworthy to know that our family history is pretty intertwined with that of Keerthana's. I was given to understand that Mr. Sainath, that is Keerthana's father, their parents met at our house for their marriage interview, and it eventually turned out to be their marriage. So it's pure destiny that the old relationship is being renewed to today's Siddarth's and Keerthana's engagement. So finally, when we want to talk about the most important crown jewel of the day, Siddarth. Over to the pujaris. So if you ask me, how pretty more important is that? Let's move on. So like I said, our family is intertwined with Keerthana's family. And so I'd like to take you on to the crown jewel of the day, Siddarth. So it's hard to describe Siddarth in such a short span of time. So I thought I'd give you only a glimpse. So it was the early 1996 that all the folks at Avenue Road were together in a large joint family, and Siddarth spent a substantial part of his early 9 years in the joint family of about 23 members. And Siddarth spent since he was the first grandchild, everyone took extra care of him during every meal. So maybe that's the reason why Siddarth is so chubby. Siddarth was heavily pampered by his grandparents. His grandmother took great care of him. For her, he was the prince. And he relished her masala dosas, kopri obatu, gasal halwa, and many other delicacies. Siddarth's love for his grandfather is immense. He declined to go abroad for pursuing his higher studies just because he wanted to take good care of him. He knew he was not going to stay for long, but then he was the one who was taken to the temple, he was the one who assisted him to the hospital, and once in a while also to the mall. Well, unfortunately, he is no more today, and nor is his grandmother and his maternal grandmother, and we're very, very happy that their blessings is us with today, and they would have been very proud of you, Siddarth. We do also have Desu Subramaniam, not sure where it is, but he's also part of the family, and we're very happy to have him here. So Siddarth actively took part in school and college co-curricular activities. He was the member of the school choir. So Siddarth, I think we need to listen to you sing. Also participated in many other activities, and for those participants who are here in the crowd with the Siddarth's friends, they're there. I'm sure if you didn't find him in the class, I'm sure either it was in the canteen or in the basketball court.
Or in the JC college.
Repeat. It was in the JNC college is what he said. So if there was any mock stock competition, Siddarth would be undefeatable, I'm sure. So while Siddarth is a very extrovert, highly talkative, very convincing, emulates the typical traits of a Karur family, he gets along with everyone, takes initiative for all cousin dinner meets. I don't know if you're aware, we were a big joint family, and then we really separated in 1996. It was after a decade that we all got together, and thanks to Siddarth. He's the guy who are best eat out places in the city. That's a mark of a true Shetty. So Siddarth studied in St. Joseph's Boys School, as well as he did his college in St. Joseph's PU and Jain College. He got his master's degree for bachelor's administration from the PES institutions. So now moving on, let's talk about his family. I had a long conversation with Siddarth. I asked him, what's the top 3 things that you would like in your life that you can't really live without? And he said, it's his mom's food, the masala dosas, the karubodas, and the bondas, and many other things which are not. I feel really hungry. So, second, the most important thing is his stock markets, and the third is his mobile phone. I thought Keerthana. Please know, after marriage, the first most important thing, Keerthana. Second, Keerthana. The third was Well, moving on, Siddarth does have his mom's traits. He's pretty darn bold, straightforward, and he's not afraid to speak his mind. He spots genuine people who are transparent, and he emulates the quality of being concerned to people and has strong opinions, but being considerate. Being very approachable and friendly, just like his mother, he has a great deal of respect for his elders. His week doesn't really complete if he's not talking to his mom's sister, Manjula. While his father, Siddarth, also has a lot of qualities of his. He's very practical in his approach, with a high level confidence, and just like his father, he's a great orator. He gives us great high quality speeches, and I guess that's a Josephite trait. He never gets tense nor gets worked up. So moving on. Well, the most important part is Tadaya, that is Ramnath Tadaya, is also a member of the Rotary Club. He's the assistant governor this year, and also he's a chartered accountant by his profession. So over to the important part of Siddarth's life, his friends. Actually, I know very little about his friends, but all I know is that he started planning on a Wednesday for a Saturday evening meetup. So he likes them a lot. Be it the long rides to Madhu Coffee Day, watching the latest movies, first day, first show, and now all that changed to Keerthanas and Keerthanas. So when I asked Siddarth, what's the best scenario of your day? And he said, it's a mango milkshake with the Economic Times Wealth magazine and the newspaper, investment planning, exponentializing money, and meeting his ever-loving loan targets of his bank. His inspiration comes from Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and Warren Buffett, who are the biggest stock brokers in the world, and I can say the stalwarts of their field. So, for the audience, if you have a lot of market tips that you want, well, you can consult Siddarth. It's just that you'll have to take appointment with Keerthana first. Even when he made a presentation at the Bangalore Stock Exchange on the subject capital markets. So moving further, he's also an avid bike fan. He actually rode the Kinetic at the age of, when he was in the 7th standard, I think. And then now he's a sporty guy with a lot of bikes. Well, moving on to the main question, I asked him why Keerthana. So his answer was, so she's the most independent girl that he's met, very confident, capable of handling any situation thrown at her, and his views and her views match. So most importantly, she's a brilliant physiotherapist. All the cousins. I think it's time to beat him up. That's officially that he can go and visit her. So whosoever wants free consultancy with Keerthana, they can meet me after lunch. Just that I'm going to charge you some. So now moving on to the most favorite part, the cousins group. So it happens to be very important for our lives that as being a part of the joint family, you move on to a nuclear family and then you don't get to interact with all the cousins that we ever had time with. So it turns out after 1996, it was a decade later, it was one of our cousins' wedding at Mysore that we started to bond along. So we started to meet and we started to enjoy our times that we spent, which was a long lost. We used to spend time in Avenue Road, where our house was. During the summer, we used to have a lot of time in the terrace. We used to spend doing drama skits, all of you who are here, I'm sure you know that. We used to play kites. And it's all silly right now, but that was one of the most memorable times of our lives. So moving on, we had a lot of fun. We meet for a cousins dinner, cousins meet up every once in a month. And all thanks to Siddarth, who's made it possible for all of us to meet. We are more bonded today. I also asked him if there was any most important thing in his life. If it's his family decision versus his personal decision, and he's always the one who takes the family decision, right? So it's that kind of bonding that all of us today we are all giving a hoot and a shout. That's because of all our with all our cousins, brothers and sisters. So at the end, I was asked to speak about one topic, marriage. Well, I really don't know anything about marriage. Well, how do you expect me to know? I'm given to understand that marriage is all about love, family and trust. I wish the very best to both of you. Yes, he had the courage to say yes to Keerthana. So, Siddarth, please don't go changing, because now we like you the way you are. Thank you guys. Now over to the Nagar family. Thank you.